So can I get a boneless Springans? Alright, so yeah, let's get the hand traps over with first. You know, you got the necessary driver, 3 Droll, 3 Max C, 2 Gamma, 3 Ash. You're running Droll over Called By because Called By doesn't do enough going second in this hand trap heavy format, and you really need to meet that hand trap quota in order to stand a chance. Droll is kind of like a pseudo Called By because like, sure, it means that you can't search with Sargus, but at least you can make, like, Horus plays, you can cope on something by drooling yourself when they max at you. We're on 3 Planet Pathfinder. This is actually a very important card in this deck. This either gets you to some sort of combo off of Walls of the Imperial Tomb, or if you've already drawn the Horus package, you can search Theriantis Coliseum, and your Regulus will be instantly live because it can then equip the Planet Pathfinder. Then when you do use Tally Ho, you can bounce the Pathfinder back to hand for your Branded and High Spirits discard. We're on 1 Rocky. Rocky doesn't really do that much. It's the least important Springans to have in hand, just because it doesn't do anything when you discard it off of Sarcophagus. 2 Brothers. Brothers is good because Brothers can revive, for example, a Kit or a Bronga, or even a Rocky if you happen to have it in rotation. Brothers can also be sent off of Merrymaker in niche circumstances, for instance, to revive a Bronga when you have 1 more Horus summon remaining in order to make a rank 8. We have 2 Kit. 2 Kit's kind of mandatory. You want to in order to be able to resolve High Spirits, including the second search. It's just a free body, it's nice. 3 Bronga. Bronga's an 8. Bronga searches another card by banishing itself in another Springan's name. It searches any card. This can usually be Tally Ho, especially when they, for example, imperm Sargus, but I mean, it's an 8. It's important. You're playing a sort of more rank 8 heavy deck. 1 Sargus. This is a pseudo Garnet that you summon off of Sprint, as you know. 2 Regulus. This is not a bad card to hard draw. Not to mention that you want to run 2 because the battle protection effect of this Coliseum does actually come up. 3 Mseti. 1 Dwamutef, 1 Happy, you know, pretty standard Horus ratios other than the 2 Walls of the Imperial Tomb. People say this card sucks, but thing is that you don't really care if your Mseti gets ashed if you open multiple Horus names, for example, under Walls. You don't really need to resolve all of the sends of King Sarcophagus in this deck a lot of the time. As long as you have rank 8 access, you can usually do something. Yep, 2 King Sarcophagus, 1 Bread and High Spirits, 1 Tally Ho, or sorry, 3 Tally Ho. Pretty normal stuff other than that, right? For the extra deck, we have 1 Sprind, 1 Abyss Dweller, 1 Baguska, 1 Merrymaker. You don't run 2 because in a lot of cases you will be going into a rank 8 line, so you do not use Merrymaker in half your games. Hope Harbinger, you know, Photon Lord, Dingirsu for going second. Explorer, you will usually summon this and then rank it up into Sargus because this gives you a additional revive off of Tally Ho. This allows you to make extra link plays, so it can be, for example, half of an IP. Yep, you got Zeus because Zeus is insane. IP, SP, Appaloosa, these are just in case levels don't line up, and Underworld Goddess, which is quite good on your opponent's turn. So that's about it in terms of the sort of deck. I mean, I can show you some sample hands, I guess. Let's see about it. Alright, so I'm actually lazy, so I'm just going to show off 1 sample hand. For instance, with this hand, you would start King Sarcophagus, as many good things do. Dump whatever Horus name you want. This looks like enough to make a rank 8, so let's do that. We will make Explorer here. And the reason we make Explorer is, again, because it gives you an additional bump up on Tally-Ho. So once we make Sargus here, and we search Tally-Ho, if you've already hard-drawn Tally-Ho, or for example, multiple Springans names, and you can search it off of that, you would probably want to grab this Colosseum instead. But in this case, unfortunately, we cannot play around things. It sucks a little bit, I know. Let's activate Sark again, pitching in Imsei, just so we get more value off of this Tally-Ho. So we can Tally-Ho for 3. Let's go ahead and grab a kit, and summon all 3 of these bodies. So let's go ahead and chain block the High Spirit Search. Technically, in this hand, you would need both to resolve, but they don't really know that. You would bounce the Bronga back to hand, and in this case, Maxi just wins games immediately because it's a stupid card, so let's keep that. Let's use High Spirits here. We'll dump Sprint. We'll dump the Bronga. And here, you kind of have a little bit of free reign. You have Imseti here. You have a Bronga in Graveyard. You have another kit here. One thing you can do, which is quite interesting, is you can summon said kit. You can go into Merrymaker. And because we have not used Brother's Effect yet, we can do this in order to bring back Bronga. And there you go, that's a rank 8. So in this case, it would probably be better to make Photon Lord, but if you have Regulus, it might be worth considering Hope Harbinger. And let's go ahead and link into IP here. And proceed to the end phase. Now this deck is super non-linear, so this is definitely not the only thing that you can do. But here you have Sargus, you have Photon Lord, you have IP, you have Champion Sargus, and you have a ton of follow-up, because Explorer's in rotation, so you're getting, you know, Ignition Effect pops every turn. You have a full graveyard, you have Tally-Ho that you can situationally recycle in order to trigger Sargus again. Just, it's an okay board for a mediocre opening. And of course you have Maxi, so you just win the game.